Hello and welcome back to the Efficient Skillet. My name is Willie and I hope that you're doing extremely well out there. I know that I am. This is going to be our 50th video, and I've been saving this for this video because I think the 50th video is kind of a milestone. And so for our 50th video, we're going to prepare a dish that brings it all back home to East Texas. And we're gonna do chicken fried steak done properly. Okay, so when I say cooking a chicken fried steak properly, mostly what I'm getting at is you have to use a quality cut of meat, not some tenderized beef round or sirloin or something like that. When I say a quality cut of meat, I'm talking about a ribeye steak. Okay, anything else, I don't really consider it a steak. It's just a cheap cut of beef or meat. This right here, this is a ribeye. It's a quality steak. Okay, so if you want the best, if you want to make the very best chicken fried steak, you got to have the best cut of meat. That's all there is to it, folks. Now what we're going to do is first thing you want to do is cut all this fat off of it, because you know, who wants to bite into a big old chunk of this right here, you know, when you're eating a chicken fried steak, right? So cut this off and feed it to your pets, raw, just like this. Okay, once you cut all the fat off, the next thing we're gonna do is take this, we're gonna take plastic wrap. We're gonna cut off a pretty good piece of it, pretty good sized little piece. Then we're going to fold it over it like this, leaving lots of room to expand, because we're about to really tenderize this steak and expand the size of it, make it thinner, because a chicken fried steak shouldn't be like an inch thick, okay? It needs to be way thinner than that. And what's gonna happen is a ribeye is already very tender, okay? But what we're about to do is make it even more tender, okay? So you put it in the plastic wrap and you just start doing this. Now, if you have the hammer meat tenderizer, that's fine. I don't have one, so I always just take this rolling pin, and it works great for stuff like this. And then just start flattening this puppy out. That's gonna make it a lot thinner, which is more appropriate for a chicken fried steak, and it's going to tenderize it even tenderer than it already is. So, look at, I mean, it's already like doubled in size. It's gonna keep getting bigger too. Okay, once you get through beating up your steak and working it over, what you're gonna do is take the plastic off. And what you're left with is just a nice, big, extremely tender ribeye steak that we're gonna use to make chicken fried steak. Now that's fit for making chicken fried steak right there. So the next thing we want to do is season this thing. You can use what kind of seasoning you like. As for me, I just like to, when it comes to chicken fried steak, I like to keep it simple. So I'm going to use salt and pepper to season this steak. I like to use this kosher salt. It works good, a couple of pinches on each side. And then also I'm going to use this coarse ground black pepper. I think that works real nicely with chicken fried steak. Then flip it to the other side and we're gonna do it again. Okay, the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take the flour, and I recommend for seasoning your flour, put a little bit of this Slap Ya Mama Cajun Creole seasoning in there. Be very careful with this stuff because it has a lot of salt in it, and if you're not careful, you will over salt your flour, and if you over salt any food, it's ruined. And this ribeye is just too nice to ruin, so be a little careful with that Cajun Creole seasoning. Okay, with our flour seasoned up with the Slap Ya Mama seasoning, we're going to take this massive chicken fried steak and put it in the flour here just as it is, just like that. This is the first pass. And what you want to do when you put it in this flour is press it like this. Press that flour and stuff into it, just like we did on our first video we made, the Milanesa. You want to press that stuff down into there. If you haven't seen the Milanesa video, if you've never had Milanesa, go check out our video. Go to my YouTube channel, click on the videos tab and look for the very first one. It's called Milanesa. Anyway, press that flour down into there. All right, so while that flour's sitting there, what we're gonna do next is take this pan. I've got an egg in it, and what we're gonna do is just put some milk in there like this. That's plenty right there. Put a little bit, I recommend put a little bit more seasoning in there. The Slap Yo Mama, again, be careful with this Slap Yo Mama, man. It's the best Creole seasoning, in my opinion, out there, but it's also very potent and it has lots of salt in it. You don't want to over salt something. Anyway. Okay, with your milk and egg here, we're gonna take our steak out of the flour here, or chicken fried steak. And then we're gonna put it into the milk and flour, and needless to say, you get this mixture all over it. Once you have the mixture all over it, then it goes, as I play musical pans here, then it goes back into the flour. If you haven't done so, make sure you try to get you one of these little tubs here. They're so handy in the kitchen for doing stuff like this. See, look at that. Get the flour all over it. Press the flour down into it. Splatter it all over your shirt. Not really. Don't splatter it on your shirt. That was an accident. I'm just being silly. Press it down into there. Now once you press it down in there, put more flour on it. Keep turning it over like this and just saturate it, totally coat it thoroughly with flour. Once we do this, and we're gonna start getting our grease ready. Now while we're getting our grease ready, while you're getting your grease ready, what you wanna do is just let this just set in that flour. The longer it sets in that flour, the crispier that steak's gonna be, okay, that chicken fried steak. So while you're getting the grease ready, just let it set in the flour. Okay, I've got my skillet turned up all the way to 400. I'm using canola oil. I got just a little bit in the bottom of the pan, about a ½ inch. And we're gonna take our chicken fried steak put it in the grease. Here we go. It's been sitting in that grease for about, while I was getting the in the flour for about 15 minutes. It's a very large steak, but you just gotta kind of work it down in there. There we go. Willie? Yeah, Mr. President. Is this a muzzleloader rifle? No, Mr. President, no. It's not a single shot rifle. It's not a muzzleloader. It's not a flintlock. It's a M4 223 ball ammunition, gas-powered, air-cooled rifle. It's the preferred rifle of the police and the military of our beloved United States of America that you help establish, and I hope you're proud of it. Duly noted, Willie. Okay, I've been having it cooking for about 5 minutes now on this first side. We're gonna turn it over now. And continue the show. It's been cooking for about another 3 minutes on side 2 here, and I believe we're ready to pull this puppy. And it is large, so you better have something big to put it on. There we go. Now the next thing you're going to want to do is put your oven on 225 degrees, because we're about to make some cream gravy. And while we're making cream gravy, we're going to put our oven on 225 cozy degrees. We're going to put this chicken fried steak in here and let it keep nice and warm while we make our cream gravy. Okay, with our gravy made, next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and take our chicken fried steak out of the oven. Here it is, all nice and ready to go. Now this thing's so big, I mean, it's not gonna fit on a plate. It'll be hanging off the sides and all that. So just for the purposes of this video, I'm gonna cut part of it off, and then we'll we'll take it from there. Man. That is so tender. That is so good. Folks, do not ever, ever go get some cheap cube steak or some cheap frozen hamburger patty. Do not ever use that to make a chicken fried steak. Chicken fried steak is holy in these parts, and you have to treat it properly. If you're gonna do a chicken fried steak right, use ribeye steak. I made this for my wife the other day, and she said it was, I'm not kidding you, she's from these parts just like us. Angel said it is the very best chicken fried steak she's ever had. So anyway, I hope you try it, and I hope you like it. If you haven't done so, hit the subscribe button, and you can email us, efficientskillet@gmail.com.